Okay, so welcome to today's featured webinar here at Inside Real Estate. We've been doing these every Wednesday at 2 p.m. East, so stay tuned. You should see notice about these from week to week as we go. And to this week's topic is how to build yourself a kvCORE based real estate growth system. And then I have a little sub headline there. Hey, Nick, how you doing? A little sub headline there that says that keeps your database filled with new leads and conversations that lead to closing. So we're going to kind of be talking about the full picture here. And for those of you that are new with kvCORE, you haven't really gotten going, definitely tune in, because basically what I'm going to be showing you is the goods, like how to take all this technology you have your hands on and actually use it in a way that turns leads into conversations, leads to close, that gets you business and commission checks. So a little bit of housekeeping. Yeah, this will probably be a fire hose of info. I get a lot of feedback. Hey, you're talking fast. Can you repeat that again? We have a lot of people on, so in the interest of just keeping things moving, I am just going to kind of go through the content. Just know that you can always watch the replay on all of the slides here down at the bottom. This might be a little small. I can make it bigger. You can see two links. One is insiderealestate.info/growth webinar slides, and then /replays is where all the replays of these are. So if you guys want access to the slides, you have those links that you can go to follow along, and then you'll be able to watch this replay as long as all of our other featured webinar replays by going to that link right there. Hopefully, that's good. Now, Michelle's saying she can't see the slides. I want to double check. You can all see the slides that I have on my screen? I had a little, okay, thanks guys. Okay, all right, perfect. Okay, so let's go in now to the content. I'm gonna start off with a premise, and that premise is you might never be able to fully automate the belly-to-belly stuff that gets commission checks flowing into your mailbox. Unfortunately, I don't think we'll ever be able to build the technology or send bots out or drones that just go show the houses for you and get the contracts written and do all the negotiation and everything else. But what you can definitely do, and what we work toward here at Inside Real Estate, is helping you create systems that automatically get a consistent flow of people talking to you about real estate. So I'm going to make my slides bigger for those of you who are giving that feedback. So hopefully that's better. So we are going to help you here create a system that automatically gets a consistent flow of people talking about real estate. And what a real estate growth system is, for definition purposes, is a set of components that work together to get people talking to you about buying and selling real estate. Okay, so for now, we're going to break down this building of a growth system into two core activity types. We're going to break it down into two sections, and that is, the first section is generating leads. We have some bullet points there. We're going to walk through choosing a customer property type, creating a lead generation offer, creating a lead capture point, getting traffic to your capture point, and then causing conversations, which is another way to say converting those leads. And we're going to configure automated property alerts. We're going to talk about conversation starting smart campaigns, retargeting, and sending something cool every week, which is kind of the secret sauce in all of this marketing and selling stuff. So let's start off first here with generating leads, and where we're going to start this process is choosing a customer and property type. And I have here on the slide, niching down gives you some instant advantages, or niching down, however you want to say it. So you see over on the slide, the niches are in the riches. I just found that image real quick on Google Images. But basically, what niching down is going to do for you is going to differentiate you, of course, from the thousands of other agents in your market, lots of other licensees, and it'll help you focus your lead generation and conversion efforts around a specific theme, which will serve you long term. And I have a note here. It just says, just because you choose a focus doesn't mean you're excluding other business. A lot of the feedback I get when I talk to people and I say, hey, is there a certain type of property that you want to sell over and over, or a certain transaction type? And people go, yeah, you know, I want to do I like open houses. I like first time buyers, but I don't want to, that's not the only thing I want to do. And I just want to mention that because we're building a system around a specific niche type doesn't mean that you're excluding other business. Just becomes a marketing hook and an angle that helps you, gives you kind of a framework to grow from. So now we're going to start with the fire hose, right? And we're going to talk about specific customer and property types. And you guys can feel free to chat in. I'm sure I've missed, one of the great things about this business is there are so many different ways to generate business and so many different types of properties to sell. But these are just some of the ones that I frequently talk about and have been able to come up with for these slides. So we've got first-time buyers, move-up buyers. You could say, hey, I'm going to work with first-time investors. I'm going to work with only seasoned investors, or maybe just both types of investors, and I'll build a funnel that attracts investors into my fold. We've got relocating buyers, people coming from another market, downsizing buyers who are also sellers. You see I have the buyers and sellers on there because you do that downsizing offer and you offer a list of properties that appeal to downsizing people. You might also get the listing on the other side if they need to sell. FSBOs, expireds, farm. So those are all kind of seller leads. And then I threw in recruiting here because you can use kvCORE and other similar systems to build yourself recruiting growth systems. If you're trying to attract agents to your team or to your brokerage, you could focus on new or seasoned or both real estate agents. So just to jog things up, if you're taking notes right now, maybe you want to scribble down one of these that kind of appeal to you, one or two. If you have others that I've forgotten, somebody said probate for sure. That's really cool. That's a really good one and should be under the seller section that I'll probably add for next time I do this presentation. So yeah, thanks for the feedback, guys. I'm going to go through all these comments and add to the customer types afterwards. Property types. So we've got our customer type we can choose, and then let's think about what type of property we're going to focus on and become an expert on and sell over and over again. And you can either do both of these can become your niche or one or the other, and that'll become clearer in a minute when we start to talk about the next phases. But property types, you can do starter homes, right? So a starter home might be properties in a specific county priced under, with 2 or more bedrooms or 3 bedrooms priced under a certain price threshold. That would be an example of how you position a starter home. New construction, condos, townhomes, multi-unit or income properties, single family rentals. That would be from an investor. What we mean by that is properties that would be good buy and holds for single family. You could also do rentals if you do rentals, land, fixer-uppers, pre-foreclosures, bank owned REOs. We got motivated sellers, homes with acreage, waterfront. Golf course is a really cool one. Golf people are just nuts about golf, as the golfers listening know. So that's a really good one I've seen really good results on. Properties with views, homes in school districts, and luxury. So what you see on the screen here, this is again meant to kind of jog your kind of mental gears here. And maybe you just want to think about which one of these you gravitate towards. Luxury recreation properties and second home Yancey staying. Baby boomers is a really good one. The baby boomers, I kind of have that as downsizing, but yeah, that's fair enough. 55 plus clients is very similar. So if you want to kind of write down which of these you resonate with, that might help you out to follow up on afterwards. And for those of you who are asking for the slides and the replays, you notice down at the bottom left of this slide and all the slides in the presentation, those links will take you there. So if you go to insiderealestate.info/growth webinar slides, you'll be able to download exactly what we're looking at on the screen right now. Okay, and Ernest, if you're listening and you want to drop them those links in the chat, go for it. Okay. So once we've identified our sort of niche focus, we've got a customer and or a property type, we're going to start to craft an offer designed to generate leads around that idea. So here are just a few examples of these. I have 4 main categories. They are a free list of properties, offering specific listing info, free reporter video, webinar, or event. So on a free list of properties, an example will be homes in York County, Pennsylvania, which is where I'm sitting today, with 3+ acres of land. Or new construction properties, and builder incentives, fixers and foreclosures. So everything we just kind of mentioned on the property front, you can always take that segment of properties and attach a specific area to it, a specific property size or characteristic, and come up with that free list of properties offered. And for whatever reason, this works really well and works much better than just saying, hey, come to my website and search on it. Right. So this niching down and coming up with a specific list of properties on your kvCORE site to give away is very effective. You can also do specific listing info, which a lot of us already do. If you have a listing, you can just dangle that one property and get people to opt in for it. Our very popular property boost service in the kvCORE marketplace is basically this. So remember, you can always generate leads and say, hey, I'm going to focus on just advertising my listings and leveraging them and using them to put lots of buyers, homeowners, and renters into my database. So your lead generation offer might just be your listing inventory. You can also do free reports or videos. So this is kind of fundamental direct response marketing, the TV commercials and the radio ads that you hear, right? We can do this in real estate. Get a free report that shows how to buy your first fixer-upper and finance your repair costs with as little money down as possible. You can go into Google Drive, write up this report, or create a PDF in Microsoft Word, and then give that away using the tools that you have in kvCORE, which I'll show a little bit of here in a second. And then webinars or events, I'm kind of lumping them together. The webinar is just like what you're sitting on right now, and it's very powerful. If you can put together a presentation, some slides like I'm doing right now around a specific topic or theme related to your real estate business, how to acquire your first cash flowing income property in Pinellas County and manage it with as little stress as possible, that would be an example, right? You could use that very template as a topic and substitute in your area, your type of property, and the parentheses at the end, you can kind of do a qualifier there as well, and then send people, as we did with you. We sent you a Zoom invite link. You signed up for that, and it's possible to go ahead and then have that Zoom webinar invite get zapped in or push that info into kvCORE, and that would be an offer that you could use. Another type of event, of course, is the tried and true open houses. So you can get people to come in to register for your open house, to attend an open house. So you guys are asking, how do you create these types of presentations? I'm going to be getting a little bit into this, but for the purposes of today, not to frustrate everybody, but I really wanted to get down the big picture framework for how these systems are created. And I'll be showing you where to go to kind of learn how to do all the nitty gritty of this toward the end. So next, and I'll show you a little bit of how to as we go through here as well. So next thing we're going to do, once we have these things figured out, what our offer is going to be, what our niche is, we're going to actually go and create these lead capture points. So at this point, I am going to need to make my slide a little smaller. Apologize. And I'm going to show you a few examples of these using kvCORE tools. So here are some landing pages, for example. So here's a page that I built for my local market. This is built using the kvCORE landing page generator. It's a very simple one-line headline where people just come to the page and they either want to see the list or they don't. So the way that you build these in kvCORE is you go to the lead engine. Right here, and you go to the landing page section, click start building, and you're able to start to make your offer. So, you do free weekly list, York, PA homes with 3+ acres. It's pretty simple to do. And I'm assuming a lot of you guys are familiar with this tool, but for those who aren't, I'll just kind of quickly create it like so. I can set a hashtag, properties with acreage. This is the hashtag it'll come into kvCORE with. I can do this, my submit button, see the list now. And then my URL after login will simply be the link to these properties on my kvCORE website. So in the interest of kind of moving the webinar along today, I'm not going to create that now, but just know you would put that list, a link to that list of those properties right into that section. And then you can set a custom background if you want. Just do farmhouse. You can always use your own custom URLs. And just like that, you can create a landing page. So that would be a type of lead capture point you could create, would be a landing page type offer. So that's a fixers and foreclosures. Here's an example for open houses. Kind of done this in my screenshotting program because I didn't want to give examples that everybody with the slides would go opt into to everybody's landing pages, the examples I'm using. So very simple, get a list of open houses. And then here's that 3+ acres in another market as well. Okay, so those are our landing pages. You can build those as many as you want using kvCORE from the lead engine. You could also directly do, I don't have on the slides, you could also just directly create squeeze page links. What I like to do is create the landing page and then redirect to a squeeze link to see the properties. But our squeeze pages actually will collect contact info as well. It's just occurring to me that I should have had that as a bullet point in the slides, but it's very similar. You come in here, you set up some search criteria, and you create a link to properties that you can then share, and then those squeeze links will collect property info as people register on your site. The next type, and this is probably one of the coolest features of kvCORE and the most underutilized, even though plenty of people use it, and that is text codes that offer some kind of information, your lead generation offer, in return for the person texting you a code. So the way to do that is you go to Lead Engine, you go to Call Capture, and you can see I kind of have a bunch of them set up right here, and you click Add New, and you can basically create a code and then reply back with a specific list of properties or a link to your report or whatever your offer was. So for example, for home value report, I'll just show that one here. I recommend everybody create something like this, home value report, and it just says, the reply back is, hi, thanks for requesting your value report. What's the address of the property? Right? So you can have people text home value report and then simply get into a conversation with people here. The coolest thing, of course, about doing text codes is that if somebody is texting you, what are you getting? You're getting their cell number because they had to be on their cell phone in most cases in order to send you a text. So this is a very good way to offer your lead capture offer. So whatever that happens to be, you can translate it into a text code. And it's definitely not a bad idea to do both. Do a landing page for whatever your core niche is and do a text code. It only takes a few extra minutes to do the text code, and you'll be able to use both of them in your marketing. Okay. Next, we have the landing page offering a free PDF report. So did I create one here? Yeah, so here's an example of what that would look like. I must have been inspired yesterday. I have those are the people from Fixer Upper, right? So free PDF report, how to buy your first Fixer Upper, finance costs or repairs. It looks very much like offering a property list, but in this case, if somebody opts in, they're gonna be redirected to the report. So the way you could do that is you can link them to a shareable Google Drive link, or you could create a link to your PDF online using a service. I'll just share this tip with you guys. I always mention this, docdroid.net. You can upload a PDF and create a quick link to it right there. So that's what that would look like. You know, there's probably, there's so many different things that we could do, you know, in real estate to provide information other than property info. So, you know, how to buy stuff around financing like this, you know, how to sell your home for top dollar. You guys have all seen those offers, and just come up with something, a common question that you get from buyers or sellers that you're working with, and turn that into a quick report. And then put a landing page in front of it, like so. Roger says, what was the link for the PDF? I didn't actually create this. I created this as a demo for you, but I could. I've actually recorded this very webinar multiple times, and I probably have the slides laying around, so maybe I'll create that, and we'll put that in our next level mastermind. Yeah, right there. But yeah, I don't actually have that report ready to go. DocDroid was the tool. Did I go a little quick there? I'll drop this to everybody. This is just a tool for if you have a PDF laying around and you need to upload it and turn it into a link online. It's just a tool I like to use. It's just free and very quick to use right there. And then finally, the webinar registration page. I have a print. My screenshot thing here, this is blurry. We recently did, if you guys go to the webinars link in the slides, I recently did a 2-part webinar about how to do webinars for real estate. So in that, I show the process of building out a Zoom registration like the one you signed up for here, and also the process of taking those leads and pushing them into kvCORE. So that would be a lead capture point. You know, that assumes that you've taken the time to create the webinar. You know, it's a little more advanced, but it's definitely a way to get people flowing into kvCORE. And then probably my favorite, my go-to, and where I point everybody to go first, just because it's so such a powerful method and a powerful way to get accurate contact info, is to do Facebook lead generation form ads, where a form pops up in Facebook pre-filled with the name, email, and phone number. Now, I feel like if any of you were on 2 weeks ago when we did that webinar, we talk about this a whole lot around here. And I'm just going to reference the webinar from 2 weeks ago. I'll drop this in the chat. I don't want you to go watch it now, but you'll have it if you want to save it. And we talk in depth about what those kinds. Hey guys, so welcome to the webinar. Hopefully, oops, sorry. We talk in depth about what those kinds of lead capture points are, and the few ways that you can get those done for you inside the kvCORE marketplace. We have our property boost service and our Facebook lead ads. But for me, for my money right now, Facebook could always pull the rug out from under us. But for my money right now, that is probably a place to go focus in terms of capturing leads and getting good contact info. So we're getting more questions, guys, about where to get the slides, where to get the replays. I have it down at the bottom here. Perhaps it's a little small, but if you go to insiderealestate.info/replays, or you go to insiderealestate.info/growth webinar slides, you'll be able to find both the recording of this session later today and the slides for this session. Let me see if I can drop these links to you guys right now. Yeah, and we'll also email it out too. Okay. Great. Okay, so we've got our capture point built, right? We've done all this stuff. We got our niche. We figured out what the offer is going to be. We created this capture point. The capture point is basically like where the people are going to go and they're going to be converted. It's a landing page, it's text code, it's a Zoom registration page. Once we've got all that done, of course, the next step is we got to get people going to the darn thing, right? We got to promote it and drive traffic to it. So a few ways that we're going to do this. I have some examples highlighted here, but we could do this with PPC, which stands for pay-per-click. So Google pay-per-click ads, Facebook pay-per-click, Instagram. By the way, if you're going to run Instagram and Facebook, both run out of the Facebook dashboard. So they're both one and the same. You can run ads on YouTube, Twitter, LinkedIn, Bing, and there's other channels, but these are probably the majors. So just to show you a few examples, here's what a Google pay-per-click ad might look like. I realize my screenshot might be a little blurry, but here's one that works really good in my local market, right? And kind of the template for a Google search ad would be what the type of property is, St. Pete, Florida condos. And one of my favorite hacks and tricks for those of you doing this yourself is to put a price range in the ad. People's brains seem to be attracted to numbers. So from 39K to 2 million plus, and then quickly search hundreds of condos for sale. St. Pete, Florida now. This particular ad has generated a few thousand leads in 2020. It was launched in January 2020, a few thousand leads at a very, very happy cost per lead. Let's just say that. Google is a good source, of course, and if somebody's on Google searching for a specific property type, there's going to be a nice high intent lead for you. Another place you can go, of course, is Facebook. So I will show an example. Virginia Beach area starter homes. This is one of the niches that's working really well for our next level mastermind members. Virginia Beach starter homes. Here's that price range thing again, just a screenshot, an example of an ad that you can run. And again, you just kind of sub in whatever your sort of niche is, if it's new construction or fixers or whatever. But if you use this template, it'll work pretty well for you in most cases. Good question. What is Lightshot? I went over that really quick. Lightshot's just my screen. It's a free screen capture tool that I use all the time. And one of the things I like about it is you can just quickly create a link to show an example. So that's what you're seeing on the screen. Nothing you need to worry about unless you need a good screen capture tool. You could run, here's an example of a YouTube ad. We did this last week. Here's me being a goofball with a lady riding an alligator. But basically what I'm showing here is you can drop on YouTube a skip this ad, right? You've probably all seen this. You've tried to watch a YouTube ad and some really annoying dude trying to sell real estate to you pops up and he's like, hey, text home value report to this number. So what you see in action here is a screenshot of the ad, and then you see a kvCORE text code in action in the ad right there. So good question, Giovanni says, where do you get the lists for your ads? Well, we get them on our kvCORE website. So anything you can search on your website on the front end, that's a list of properties. So you can either search on the front end of your site, or again, you can use the squeeze link section, the squeeze builder to generate links. So the IDX squeeze page here in Lead Engine, you can generate these lists of properties and then take people to those after they opt in through your capture points. Okay. So that's sort of the PPC stuff, all right? All these networks kind of work similarly once you get the hang of one. They all have sort of a wizard that you go through, and they're not hard to learn, but you do need to take a little time just to get familiar with them, but it's not hard. You just kind of feed them the link you want to send traffic to, set up some targeting, and you're good to go. The other thing you can do, of course, is use direct mail. You can go offline to online. Here's my broker, Delia, with a recent just sold listing card. So she's doing her just sold property, but also integrating, as you can see here, here one of her lead capture points, text value report to the smart number, right? And then as I just showed you a minute ago, the reply back to this will be, okay, great, what's your address? And then you're in conversation over their cell phone and have the ability to get a listing lead. So that's an example of how you might use direct mail. Of course, direct mail, there's so many different ways you can do it. Just keep in mind that as you do postcards, letters, that you should be trying to drive the traffic through your kvCORE lead capture points. We talk a lot around here about doing a post every day on your Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, wherever you go get social. So here's an example of a post, a property list of the day post, where it says, tired of fixing up your old house? Click this link to see a complete current list of Pinellas County new construction homes now. This one happened to have kind of a fun video where the guy's frustrated about his house, but you could do this every day. Think about a specific property list, post that daily, and this is a good free way to get traffic through into your kvCORE system, through your capture points and into your kvCORE system. So Gennaro's asking, where do you get these videos? I happen to have that one from years back. I create a lot of these myself. Yeah, it's just a matter of finding them and coming up with them. I have been adding these. I have mentioned the Next Level Mastermind. It's a thing we have in Marketplace. I'll talk a little bit more about that toward the end, but I have been adding some of the things I'm showing to that library that people can check out if they want to. So that's direct mail, organic social posting. There's also these, I don't have specific examples here, but I just want to mention, newspaper and print is still very viable. Just a tip for everybody. I see, it drives me nuts when I'm sitting at the diner every Sunday with my son, right? And you see all these ads from agents who are running their open houses, and they just have the address and the picture of the property. If you are still doing print, try putting a text code for that property right underneath that. That would be an idea. Craigslist and Facebook Marketplace are still very viable. Everybody thinks Craigslist is full of scammers. Might be true, but at the same time, a lot of your competition has left Craigslist and there still are people searching there. So it's a good channel. Facebook Marketplace is a good place to advertise and get traffic flowing through your stuff. And then there's the tried and true stuff like billboards, TV ads. And I gotta mention, I don't have it on here. Ugh, bobblehead dolls. Business card bobblehead dolls. I'll show you what I mean by that. I know some of you guys who've seen me show this before are rolling your eyes right now, but whatever. Business card bobblehead Sanso. Where are they at? So this is basically the offline stuff that drives traffic online, but this is like I have a case of these sitting in my school bus. Basically, you put your business card on it, and then on the back, you'd have your text code or your kvCORE landing page link. I'll go ahead and send Sanso some free business here by dropping this in the chat. Everybody wants to set this up. This is kind of fun and funny, guys, but believe it or not, these things actually worked. I used to have them at pizza shops in Philly. The one pizza shop owner would always call me like, dude, I need more of your cards. People want to know where the foreclosure list was again. So just a kind of a fun way. But the bottom line is that there are so many different ways to get traffic through these capture points. I've probably missed as many as I've listed here. Just pick one and focus on it and drive it through your niche offer and you'll be good to go. Okay, realize I'm going fast, but I also don't want to keep you guys here for 2 hours. So we're gonna keep going through here. So what we've just done is detailed the lead generation stuff. If you do everything I just mentioned, you'll have leads flowing into your CRM, into your kvCORE system. You get traffic going through your capture point, people are opting in, hopefully. One comment I'll make on that, it doesn't always work the first time. One of the secrets of the people who are really good at this stuff is that they fail often in order to get to a winner. So fail, 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 win, fail, fail, fail. So don't get discouraged if you do everything I just said and you don't immediately start getting results. Just know it's a matter of testing and trying a bunch of things and eventually something will click. But what I've just given you will work. Lots of people do this process. I've been doing it for more than a decade now. If you do exactly in this order, this kind of framework, you will get leads flowing into your system. There are, of course, also shortcuts in our marketplace that will allow a lot of the nitty-gritty tech stuff that I've mentioned here to happen automatically. Things like Property Boost, things like our Google pay-per-click offering, and our Facebook AI ads. Now, once you've got leads flowing in, great point, great comment from Michael there. It took me 2 months to have his first lead from Facebook, but you probably learned a lot in the process, right? And now you can scale from there. So now we've got our leads coming in. We're going to work on causing conversations. We're going to convert those leads into conversations that lead to closings. And some of the key things you can do with kvCORE probably, and starting with probably what I consider to be the most important thing, would be to make sure that you're configuring automated property alerts for every lead that you get. So we're going to go in here to the kvCORE platform and we go to Marketing Autopilot. and know that you can go right to search alerts. And if you know that you have a lead coming in, say for deals, in my case, I have my 727realestatedeals.com page that I showed you, the free list of fixers and foreclosures. You can say, hey, anytime that hashtag comes in, automatically send those people properties, any of the foreclosures or price reductions, anything that fits that criteria once a week, every day, once a month, whatever it might be. So this is probably the one thing, one area where I see a lot of people kind of missing out on money with kvCORE, where you're not setting everybody up for alerts. And probably the one thing that can make you the most money over time in the most automated way, because all you need to do is set this and forget it. And over time, people are just going to get emails from you with property listings. And some of them, you know, if you play the numbers game, will reach out and say, hey, what about this property? Or they'll forward a listing to their cousin and their cousin will call you, whatever it might be. So definitely configure automated property alerts in kvCORE. And another comment on this, even set them up for people who you don't know the criteria for, or maybe your past clients. You could always go to a past client or a seller client of yours and say, hey, I'm setting you up for alerts just so you know the value of your property. So definitely do this. Very important, configure automated property alerts in kvCORE. Next, we have conversation starting smart campaigns. And if you have the slides, guys, it's at InsideRealEstateInfo/growth webinar slides. We recently did a whole webinar that detailed the setting up of this. But this, in my opinion, it's working like gangbusters. And basically, what I'm showing on the screen, I'll make this bigger, is sort of a flow of contacts that we have going out to these kinds of leads that are getting people in a very acceptably high rate to start talking with you. So, for example, this is a bigger house new construction campaign we did with a friend of mine over the past few weeks. An initial text, an initial email, a call. And then on day 2, you're sending another email. Day 4, email, a text. Day 5, a 10-day email, the 10-day email. And then day 9, we have a do you still want info email going out. So the bottom line, not to drill into each of these right now, I do give you a link in the slides to where you can see the building of this specific campaign step by step. But the bottom line is that you should have a smart campaign in kvCORE whose primary focus is to get people to either talk to you or not, where you're communicating heavily in that first week, 7 to 10 days, and the goal being just to sift out that 10–20% of people who might actually be ready to do stuff now. Now, what these campaigns actually end up doing in a lot of cases is they get people to say, no, not right now, but maybe next spring. It's very interesting, the kind of conversations that are generated from these, and you start to sift people out. So here's an example just to give you guys a little something, because I know I'm not even looking at the chat right now, but I know people are saying, well, what do those texts say? What are they? Here's an example I can give you of maybe an initial text format, and it's worked very well for Kylie. Hi, first name. Thanks for checking out the bigger houses on my website. You would insert whatever your niche is. Thanks for checking out the fixer-uppers on my website. Just curious, are you thinking about selling your current house or holding it as a rental? In this case, Kylie, we were trying to target people who might be already own a home and want a bigger one. But the big takeaway would be that you should finish that initial text with some kind of question. Just curious, are you a first-time investor or are you more seasoned? Just curious, do you already live in the area? That's a really good one. Something like that just to get the conversation started. So that would be an initial text you can use. Okay. All right, so conversation starting smart campaigns. I could spend an hour just showing you how to build that out, but what I did to save time today and give you guys some homework over the weekend, if you want to check it out, is just give you the link inside of the slides to where to get those. I will adjust this so it's not in the way. It says it right here, recent webinar with more details, and that'll take you into our Facebook group where you can watch that replay. So I'll drop that to you guys now. And I don't want everybody to go watch that right now, but I just want to make sure that you're getting as much as you can get. And sorry, Tina. Yes, I said in the beginning I was going to go fast. I'm showing you the whole thing. You can always go back and watch the replay later in order and knock out each of these sections. But I want to give you the whole story here in under an hour. Okay. All right. So we've got, in terms of generating conversations, we are going to configure automated property alerts so that people get updates from us and they reply back about specific properties, right? We're going to do a conversation starting smart campaign with text emails, right? We're going to use kvCORE to do that. I probably should have mentioned that can be found in the marketing autopilot section. You go to smart campaigns and you can build those right there, right? And that webinar that I dropped you will show you how to get that done. And then beyond that, those two things should do a very good job of getting people to talk to you. And if you want to go even further, you want to go even more and more next level, you can start to do something called retargeting, which I'm sure a lot of you guys have heard about. And that's where you start to show ads to the people who visited your website, to your new leads. You start to show them ads all around the web, calling them back into your fold. So one way you can do this is with a simple thank you video. This is kind of my favorite approach. And then you can do Google display banner ads, which is something we do offer in the kvCORE marketplace. The banner ads, Google display banner ads, that basically what that does is it says, hey, all of Google's partner sites who participate in the display network are going to show your ads, and Google will share the ad revenue that they charge you with those publishers. So that's a good way to make it feel like to the person who's visited your website, like you're following them around everywhere. So we do have in the marketplace a service that'll set that up. We do have trainings in our next level. You can also set those up pretty easily yourself. The simple thank you video, I kind of wanted to show Kylie's video here. I guess we have a minute, but the idea here, this was her first stab, and it's basically say, hey, thanks for visiting my website. If you need to get a hold of me, here's my number. So let me see if I can get this to play. You might not be able to hear it too well, but let's give it a shot. I hope she's not watching, because she's going to be like, Ryan, why did you just show me up to thousands of people? Whatever. Here we go.
Hi, I'm Kylie Evans with eXp Realty. I just wanted to say a quick thank you for visiting my website recently. Feel free to call me, text me, or email me. I will put my contact information somewhere at the bottom of the screen. I really look forward to hearing from you.
Okay, so I wanted to show that because Kylie had never done this kind of ad before, and I think it's a good example of what you can do, even if it's the first time you do it. She just sat down, she spent probably an hour or two, just figured it out. Maybe she had to do a few takes, but she struggled through it, and she got a quick, she put the little text overlay on, she figured out how to do all this stuff. And what this video does is it allows her, when somebody visits her website, she can now automatically show a Facebook ad, an ad on YouTube that helps separate her from the crowd. So if somebody's searching on her website, they're opting in for a bunch of other real estate websites. They're on Zillow, they're on Realtor.com. Now you've got this realtor who you've started to get emails and texts from, and now you're putting a face to the name. You got this video sitting right in front of you automatically on Facebook, Google, and other places. And this is the power of retargeting. Now, again, I don't have time to get into step-by-step how to do this today, but just put it in the back of your head that, hey, as I build out a growth system for myself, this is going to be one of the things that I want to get to eventually, and one of the components that will help create, cause more conversations that lead to closings. So a good question from Angela. She said, would you put this on a landing page as well? I actually very much do recommend you could have this video. We call it a bridge video. You could have this show right after they opt in as well. You could do a similar thing. So you could do that as a landing page as well too. Yeah. Well, Gene, if it's too fast, I'm just replying to some of the comments. Guys, I'm giving you the whole story here. You're welcome to go watch the webinar. You're welcome to pause the replay, watch it over and over again. But this is how it's done. So I don't know. Sorry if it's too fast, but this is it. All right. All right, so you've got retargeting going, you've got your conversation starting smart campaigns going, you've got automated property alerts going out from kvCORE. Basically what you have if you do all these things is you have a way that if leads come into your system, you've done all the work to get the leads into the system, you've got a number of ways to make sure that that invested time and money it was well spent, and that people can re-engage and come back into your fold and eventually start talking to you about real estate. And everything we've shown here, once you set it up one time, will just run on autopilot for you. You can turn on the ads, turn them off, and it'll work whenever you need it to fill your pipeline. So let me make the present a little bigger. Sorry, guys. Now, the last thing you're going to want to do, maybe not the last, but probably the most important thing you're going to want to do to make sure that you're converting your leads, whether or not you do all these other things to cause conversations, is to create and send something cool once a week. And this is probably where you have the opportunity to separate yourself from 99% of your competition. Most people are not going to go out there and say, hey, I'm going to come up with some unique piece of content once a week, and I'm just going to mass email it or mass text it out from kvCORE relevant to my niche the kinds of things you would send, well, you could do a deal of the week email where you say, you know, people are coming in on a new construction funnel. You could say, here's the new construction build of the week in Tampa, Florida. You could do a unique video tour of a property and send that to all your people. You can invite to a live webinar. You can do a property search of the week. So you can say, hey, here's the property search of the week is properties with views, you know, in whatever city. You could do a featured neighborhood driving tour, featured business interview with a local resident, a PDF reporter training, financing tip, open house event, invite people to an open house. I think you get the point. The idea is that try to send something unique that's not automated once a week. Try to take the time to curate some content. And doing this is really just a matter of going into the Smart CRM. I have a little image here. You just filter out, check off the contacts you want to send to, and you can click the mass email, mass text, or even send a core video message. If you're a core video premium user, you can mass send to everybody a video right from the kvCORE dashboard. And I have here in subheadline, you'll make 2 to 50 times the money if you actually do this. And that's the truth. This is where a lot of people will spend money to generate leads. They'll just kind of sit there in your database. You never follow up. But if you can engage people with something unique, every week, you're going to get people who are attracted to you, and they're going to be chasing you instead of you chasing them. So that's kind of the last piece of the growth system funnel here. Okay, guys. I'm taking a look at the comments. I'm getting nervous. I'm getting some feedback. Like, I always get it. You talk too fast. I guess it's just the way it is. I'm sorry for those of you who, who this is too much of a fire hose for. I really am. But I'm just gonna, you know, it's hard to please everybody. That said, you can watch the replay. All of these steps are here, guys. Just trust me. And the people who are doing this stuff in a systematic way are getting results. So we're coming toward the end. I'm just going to mention a few extra tips and extras here, and then we can do some questions. First tip, just start with one niche, one offer, one traffic source. I know some of you guys, I did this in the beginning. You get overwhelmed, like, I'm going to try this, and this, these 5 things. If you can, just try to get one humming along. And humming along means you have the ability to go into your, say, Facebook ads or your Google ads dashboard and know that if you turn on the money, conversations come out the other side. So it might take you a month, 2, 3 months to really get that working. But if you do, you have an asset inside of your business, you know, you have a system that you can work, and then you can say, okay, I've got new construction working. I've got fixer-uppers working. Now what's the next thing? Another tip there I don't have in the slide, for those of you who are team leaders or broker owners, you've kind of got a path here to grow your brokerage if you think about it. And what I mean by that is you could go, well, one agent at a time, and say, hey, you need a niche focus, and you can go build these systems out for each of the people at your brokerage or on your team. So just a little tip there. That's another way. And if I owned a brokerage, that would probably be what I would do. I'd take in a new agent, and you can expand out your team or your brokerage that way by having, and kind of rule the market by having a bunch of these niche focused people running around town. And the second point I have here is buyer side offers will get you seller leads. A lot of people say, oh, I want seller leads. And there are ways to do seller specific funnels. Just remember, if you're running ads, people who own homes are going to opt in for them. So don't think that you're not going to get listings. You will get listings from the conversations that are generated out of all this. Even if you're just running ads for foreclosure listings, those will lead to listings. A few other tips: schedule time daily, basic stuff, but go into your Google Calendar, your Outlook, whatever you use, schedule a recurring appointment to do this stuff. You might need to time block 30 to 60 minutes a day. Schedule time to become more of an expert at your niche focus. So if you're doing new construction, you probably need a spot on your calendar once a week to go tour, you know, a new listing build, or go meet with a new builder or whatever it might be, so that you're more expert. I have a link here to our calculator. I'm not going to go into that, but basically it's a little tool you can use to kind of plug in and see what the ROI is on these kinds of things with some assumed numbers. And basically, if you start to layer in some of the things that I talked about on the conversion front, and you're doing PPC, the numbers just look good in real estate because of our average transaction side. The biggest hurdle to come over is learning how to do this stuff and to stick with it long enough for it to take hold, you know, and start to ROI, provide you a return on investment. Another resource I have here is the Real Estate Growth System Planner tool. This is basically walks you through everything I just talked about. It's a little form, not too fancy, but you could use this to say, oh yeah, I'm going to do investors, you know, this kind of property. And if you fill out some of these things, it'll kind of just spit you back out a plan that you can use. So I have that tool listed here in the slides. I can drop that to everybody right now in the comments too. right here. Thanks, Ernest. You're doing a great job. I see you trying to keep up with the comments. All right, so there's the chat right there. And then the last comment is just, I don't know. I know this isn't for everybody. And maybe for a lot of people, it does make sense to just go buy leads, buy Zillow leads and just work your referral network. So I don't want everybody to feel stressed like you have to do this, but I think it is valuable to understand that this is how the internet marketing funnels are happening and how they're built. So, and my bias is that it really is worth learning how to do this stuff, even if it's painful, because it does really go way beyond real estate. The whole kind of process I just walked you through is really at its core, building an internet marketing funnel, or just building a marketing system for any business. You can apply these steps to any business, whether you're using kvCORE or not. So that's just a little extra thought there, that it is worth struggling through this, even if it seems daunting right now. It is really fun and rewarding once you really dig in and start going with it. All right, so that's it. We're coming up on 44 minutes. I'm proud we got it done in under an hour for the most part. I know that a lot of you are chatting and saying, hey, how do we do all this stuff? I have a very, very low-key pitch here at the end. A lot of what I'm talking about here, we talk about every day, and we've been adding the content around in our Next Level Mastermind, which is an offering inside the kvCORE marketplace. It's a 7-day free trial, and then it's $19 a month. I can put that on the slide for you guys, just so you know. But basically, you can start for free. You can watch a video about it in the marketplace. Then it's $19 a month after that. Month to month, you can cancel anytime. Not a huge number. And basically, what we do in there is we do 3 times a week a Q&A session where I go live with members of the group. If any of you guys who are members are watching and you want to chat and just give some feedback on it, that would be nice. Just let everybody else know who's watching. Let them know how you feel about it. For better or worse, feel free to give negative feedback if you need to. And then I can give you guys a quick look at the dashboard there. So basically, after you sign up and start the free trial, you'll have a link inside of kvCORE. You'll click it. There's a room here where we have all the latest stuff and people can chat. And then we have these different sections. Marketing examples and templates, that'll be like where we have the conversation starting, texts and emails that I mentioned, those are in there. This whole growth system, all the trainings around the stuff I mentioned today is in that section. All the recorded events and webinars we do for members and some other section specific tutorials is all in there. So that's my not hyper pitch for that. If you want to check it out, go for it. We have a good community, lots of cool people in there who will help you out. And also, again, myself, Ernest, and Elisa, some people on the team, we go live 3 times a week to try to help you out to navigate all the stuff I just talked about right now. So, whoa. So, yeah. So we're getting some feedback in the chat. Yes, it's a fire hose of information. But, realistically, there's a lot to this. There's a lot to know. And if you want to boil it all down, you can take all these components. I'll just leave you with this. All of this stuff we have managed to here at Inside Real Estate synthesize this all down into kind of an easier way if you're not the do-it-yourself type. So I will mention that you can very well just go into the marketplace and say, hey, I'm going to focus on just Google ads. I'm going to go click the easy button, right? I'm going to order some Google PPC. I'm going to order some Facebook PPC. Maybe I'll do Property Boost for all my listings. And I'm not going to go crazy with all the retargeting that Ryan was talking about. Sounds nuts. I don't feel like doing all these videos. But what I will do is I'll go, now that I have my leads coming in from Property Boost, or I have them coming in from my third-party sources, Zillow, Realtor, whatever you're coming in, I'm going to make sure that I go and I set up those automated property alerts for everybody who comes in. And then maybe I'll make sure that I have a smart campaign attached. If you just do a few pieces of this, guys, and even if you use some of the easy buttons, it'll get the job done, and you should see nice results and a nice ROI on your investment. But what I've done today is fire hose you with the full picture. So I hope it was fun, and I do appreciate you being here today. All right, so I'll try to take a quick look in here. Ernest, I don't know if you can come live. Is there anything that you feel that I should address that people have asked in the comments that might be best addressed live, or do you think that you've kind of got them all in the comments here?
I think you covered it pretty good there. So just a lot of comments on where to find the replays.
Hey, Ernest, I know you told me not to bring you live, but just on cue, your baby, it was the coolest thing. He just screamed in the background. So thanks, man. Okay, thanks everybody for watching. Last thing, people are asking, don't forget guys that you can watch, you're definitely going to want to go through the Agent Success Plan. This was sort of a next level. We have our core next level. This is a little more advanced, but the basics of using kvCORE are all there for you in the Agent Success Plan. I should have remembered to mention that in the beginning. So that's right up here under kvCORE training, Agent Success Plan. Okay, guys, I will go ahead and get the replay live. It'll be at insiderealestate.com/replays. We'll also just remember, you can always go into the Facebook group if you have any follow-up questions or anything related to this stuff. We have insiderealestate.com/Facebook group where you can come in and ask questions, get help from the community as well. We'll probably be live next Wednesday at the same time with a new webinar. I have no idea what the topic's going to be. We're trying to do these every Wednesday at 2 p.m. East, 11 a.m. Pacific. So keep an eye out for that. And thanks a lot. Happy New Year, everybody. Have a great New Year. Party down tomorrow night, and we'll see you next week. All right. Bye, guys.